Welcome to Sled X. I'm Ken McElveen.
And I'm Jack Dawson. This week's show takes us to beautiful Quebec City, Canada.
Where we drove for about an hour to the Deschênes region. Thanks.
Where we hooked up, thank you. Where we hooked up with the Kamwootuk Adventure team. They took us on a 4-day, 3-night adventure.
Where they have something for everybody. They got groomed trails, they got unmarked trails, they got backcountry riding.
Some of us off trails more than others.
I was in search of fresh powder.
You fell off your sled. More than once.
Why do you gotta tell everybody everything?
More than once.
Check it out. After landing in Quebec City, we headed to the Laurentide Reserve, which is renowned for its abundant snowfall. The reserve has been protected since 1895 and has created a magnificent territory, adorned with beautiful forests and tons of wildlife. From snowshoeing to ice fishing, there is something for everyone. And did you know, in 1922, Joseph Bombardier invented the snowmobile?
We are here today for a snowmobiling adventure expedition. Kamwootuk Adventure I've been up for since now 10 years. Our clients are from France at 90% for expedition. The Quebec province, they said we have 33,000 kilometers of trail groomed. Kamwootuk Adventure have many sleds, around 70 sleds for different type of expedition. So we can do from 1 hour to 1 day or multi-day, 7 to 8 days with or without a guide. For the next 4 days will be an expedition in the off-road trail with a guide called Bird.
This means stop, guys, okay? Slow down, stop, there's something. This means there's a big dip or something, there's a rock, watch it, slow down. My job consists of bringing people into the wild and make sure that they're enjoying their day snowmobiling in a safe way. I'm not a speed guy. If you want to take other people, other company and go fast, my job, the best I like is with this kind of snowmobiles, Scandic, go through the powder, small little trails into the wood. If the lakes are safe, go onto the lake, check the mountains around, try to find some animal tracks, and stop once in a while, ask people what they want. Do they want to shoot photography or little videos or stuff like that? Make sure that they can see the scenery out here, because it's a beautiful country.
We'll be in the Wildlife Reserve, Laurentide Wildlife Reserve, a very big territory with beautiful scenery and landscape, ending up to the Auberge Le Relais for 2 nights. So for this kind of expedition, we will have a Bombardier called Scandic SUV, which is a wide track. Okay, so it's pretty easy to go in the powdered snow or off the trail. Also, our desk here is close to the Ice Hotel, so we receive people from all around the world. So they come here to try the snowmobile for 1 hour or half day or 1 day.
Wow, blue skies, fresh powder, awesome day, excellent guide. I am stoked. It's gonna be a great 4 days. Cut? Actually, I'm kind of nervous. I've never been off-roading or trailing. I've always driven a snowmobile on a trail. Are we really gonna get stuck? Welcome back to Sled X, where our Deschênes adventure continues.
The best thing that could have happened to us on this trip was hooking up with Alan and the Kamwootuk Adventure team.
Because he introduced us to Bert, who was an awesome guide, and basically took 2 rookies up into the mountain.
3. The cameraman had to follow us around.
The camera. So 3 rookies up into the mountains, where he introduced us to Denis of CPAC.
And Denis took us on some of the most spectacular trails in the Quebec region.
You got to see some beautiful scenery too.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Keeping up with them was hard.
Yeah, it's always like, poof, it's gone.
Welcome to Backcountry Quebec. I'm Denis Boivin from Laurentide Wildlife Reserve, and we are in this magnificent wildlife reserve, which is about 8,000 square kilometers. Okay, and we got about 2,000 kilometers of gravel road that we can use for snowmobile. Well, CPAC is the organization runs the 14 wildlife reserves, including Anticosti Island, plus 22 conservation park in the province of Quebec. It's a big organization. In this wildlife reserve, the average snowfall a year is about 700 centimeters, which is a very high drop, and we can snowmobile for almost 5 months.
It's a selected area that you can see, if you're very lucky, big moose, because there are no hunters here. It's a non-hunting place, so moose have a tendency to stay where people don't chase them around.
We've been on the trails with Bert for 2 days, day and a half, and we haven't seen many sledders out here.
Oh, no, it's so huge, and let's say if there is 200 sleds in the wildlife reserve, that's nothing. That's inside 8,000 square kilometers, so, you know. It's
far and few between.
Oh yes, a long distance between each other. We have 28 spots where people can have accommodation. We have about 600 beds. When all the cabins are full, that means that we have 600 people plus our 160 employees working for you guys.
They got a little bit of everything. They got trails, they got fresh powder. Like, what did they say? 22 feet of snow on average. That's average. Sometimes it's more. It's beautiful. Yesterday we had a beautiful day. This morning's nice, a little chilly, but I'm having the time of my life.
In Quebec provinces, we're very lucky. We probably got the biggest setup of groomed trail in the world. I would not be surprised if we're the biggest. 33,000 kilometers of groomed trail. You can leave when you're 18 years old and come back when you're 60, never passing the same trail probably. Those groomed trails, what are good with them, they're all marked down on the map that we gave you before you go if you want to go alone. And the indication are very easy to follow. It's like being on the asphalt with a car. There's stop sign, there's hill saying you're going down or up, there's curves. The yellow sign means slow down, the red sign means danger. The indication from the next city to the other city, where you can gas up, where you can sleep. All the map contain the information. See here, the way you get your way through in Quebec on the highways, see that blue sign down there?
Yep.
That's a main highway. Whenever you see something painted in blue, that's the main highway, like the 401, 400, and they're in blue here. We're suggesting when it's your first trip, or even your second or your third trip to Quebec snowmobiling, you should always take a guide. Anything can happen. You could get stuck on the side of the road just if you leave the track and you go sideways in the powdered snow, and you won't have to spend your whole day looking at a map and say, where are we? Are we far from gasoline? Are we far from food? We know that kind of stuff because we've been in the trail for so long, and you're gonna feel secure, and you're gonna ride the snowmobile. You're gonna enjoy it, instead of looking for your way through the woods.
I've been racing for 6 years now. I've been a pro women rider for 5 years. Last year I was the Canadian National Champion for CSRA, and I was a pro women's WSA National Champion also, which is the World Series. I started riding snowmobiles when I was a young child. It was a family thing that we used to do out at the cottage. For the longest time, I was a competitor in downhill ski racing. So, there's a lot of competitiveness there and wanting to, win in skiing. I mean, downhill at any time, you could be doing 100 kilometers an hour on skis. And once I retired from that, some friends at home said, come and race. And I went out and raced my first race 6 years ago and won. To be able to go out and, jumping and speed, cornering, and every weekend it's a different track. So every weekend it's a challenge, and also to go out and ride in the guys class and to try and compete with them and keep them on their toes is what I really enjoy doing. If guys can do it, why can't we? Why can't we go out there and compete with the guys? If they're gonna jump, we're gonna jump. I mean, the sled, the suspension, and the power is all there. It's just a matter of, wanting to do it. If that's what makes you faster, is riding against faster people. And you know what? The guys don't want to get beat. They don't want to see that ponytail in front of them. They want to be ahead of you. So they're going to be, banging bars at you, and you're going to be just as aggressive back.
Welcome back to Sled X. Now, fellas, this is definitely the place to bring the better half. Quebec City region has something for everybody. They have culture, they have history, and they have the best food around.
And did you know that Quebec means where the river narrows?
Yes, I too Googled Quebec City.
Let's take a closer look on how smart I am.
In 1608, Samuel de Champlain founded the city of Quebec, which is also known as the cradle of French civilization in North America. To stroll through the streets of old Quebec City is to step back into time, a time when our ancestors built the continent's only fortified city north of Mexico. This 400-year-old historical jewel shines proudly, rich with history and culture. Her story really began at the foot of the mountain, just steps away from the St. Lawrence River. The city lets her visitors become time travelers, and no visit is complete without a stop by the celebrated Chateau Frontenac Hotel.
Okay, we got in late last night. Denny took care of us. We had a great meal. We had a great sleep. We had another nice breakfast this morning. It's great. We have great weather. What's the plan for today, guys?
We're going to leave from here, Denis, where we slept.
Okay.
And where could we get some white powder? Because those guys want to ride in the white powder.
Okay.
Do some stunts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we're going to leave from
I know
here.
a good area. We will be meeting our friends over here, and they will do some stunt for us on
crazy
the
Quebec
power line.
Mongoloid.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So we'll have a lot of fun. Wonderful weather.
Beautiful.
Sounds great.
And we got good sun. So let's pack it up and go, guys.
All right,
All right.
Bert's the boss. Bert says, let's go, let's go.
We had a snowstorm a few days ago, about 50 centimeters. So we hope to go and get stuck and then work very hard to get off and be back on the trail, on the track.
What do we do today? Oh, let's go here. Powder. Oh, beautiful. And that's what snowmobiling is all about, is what we did with Sled X. We don't know what we're doing in the morning. We take a decision. Oh, this mountain look nice to climb. Let's get some people out there, few guys, but the fun. That is snowmobiling. It's the essence of snowmobiling. Bunch of guys go in the wood. We don't know what we're doing. We look at the place and we say, yeah, let's cross through here. We're going on that lake. And in the afternoon, we're going to make a fire on that hill. That is snowmobiling. The trail is good. It's fun. But the hardcore people, they're knee-deep in the snow sweating, trying to pull their body out. That is snowmobiling. In Duchesne here, we have a very, very wide range of specialty trip. You can come here if you're late for the plane or something like that and you want to go for 1 hour snowmobiling before you leave Quebec. You come here, we dress you up in about 10 minutes, sign the contract, show you how it's done, go on the trail for an hour and come back without a guide. If you want a little bit longer trip, we got 3 hours trip. You can go with a guide or without a guide. After that, you got the full day. You leave in the morning and we only come at night. And then we got the 2 days, 3 day, 4 day, as much as you want. This year we got a new one. It's a 7-day trip along the St. Lawrence Seaway. Usually people come out of here and they always want to come back, especially with me. I don't know why. Must be a good guy.
Basically a normal trail sled has a stock compression ratio engine designed for pump gas, fuel, that the average guy can buy and just go and ride trails with it. They can put oil in the injector